You are this close to owning your new home. Yay, congrats! Your home passed inspection and you've also locked in a great rate on your home loan as well. And your home ownership is getting closer bit by bit. Now there's one step before it's all said and done, the final walkthrough. In this video, I call the specific items to look for and wait till the very end wherein I provide you with a gift that should be super helpful during your final walkthrough and complete it successfully, okay? Hey, Ravi with the Rams Group at 𝗬𝗵𝗲 Realty here. If this is the first time we're connecting, I welcome you to my channel wherein I provide meaningful, relevant, and educational content to help both home sellers and buyers be in the real estate know. And I thank you for joining. Now, back at it. First off, I'd like to ask you to take a deep breath. There's no cause for concern, okay? The vast majority of final walkthroughs reveal no problems at all. And even if they do, most of the issues are easily fixed. And if a builder is involved and the home is a new construction, they take care of all of them. And if the home is a resale, items which were functional during your prior walkthroughs or even the home inspection, if you had a chance to do it, that is, can be brought up with the sellers for making all those items functional again, okay? And that said, it still can feel kind of awkward and be a little stressful process-wise, which can make you anxious, especially for the first-time home buyers. Now, don't worry. Here's what all you need to look for during the last trip of yours through the home before you take full ownership of the property, okay? First, create a checklist. Before you walk through, work with your agent or your real estate attorney to create a comprehensive checklist covering all of your questions and concerns with the home. Now, these could be items that you would like to see addressed or fixed before you move in, okay? And also, I would suggest you look at your notes from your previous walkthroughs as well as the inspection report to determine what areas of the house you'd like to double check. Now, simply having a checklist during your final walkthrough will add structure to the entire process and can improve the likelihood that all the issues are addressed. Coming to the inspection checklist report itself, ensure that all the appliances in the home work. Yeah, you have to literally turn them on and off. Now, you make sure you are doing this while you're at the house, and also I would suggest you checking the bathroom plumbing to make sure that they are all operational. Check the windows, doors, outlets, and if it's anything is amiss, bring it up with the sellers right away as soon as possible and negotiate that the sellers either adjust the price or get them fixed. Now, you may have to get a few bits from contractors as well as specialists to make this happen, but it's absolutely imperative that you get it done, okay? And final walkthroughs normally are very close to the closing timeline. So your realtor will potentially have to work with the escrow company for a holdback of funds so that you as a buyer have funds that would otherwise be paid to the sellers, withheld for those costly repairs so that you are not spending money out of your pocket, okay? And it's your last chance to visit through the home, make it absolutely count. Second, ensure that all the required repairs are completed. Now, most sellers are good and ethical people. However, the onus is purely on you, the buyer, to ensure that everything that was agreed to and negotiated with the sellers were really fixed before you close on the home and move in, okay? Now, ask the sellers for copies of paid invoices, receipts, and associated warranties, if any. And if it's just a simple fix, say, such as patching a drywall or even replacing a faucet, ask the sellers to send you a photo of the completed work before your final walkthrough. Now, while keeping your cool during the negotiations is key, items that were agreed to be fixed by the sellers and still haven't should be immediately brought up with them, demanding that the sellers either fix or compensate you for the work. Now, this could potentially mean extending the closing date. Now, after all, the home selling process can be a little complicated, leaving the required repairs unfinished because the priorities were focused elsewhere. This is truly a possibility, and we've seen a few occurrences of that. So you, as a buyer, need to watch out, okay? Third, inspect previously hard to reach spots. Now, during your final walkthrough, inspect everything that you couldn't check out during your earlier visits, either due to lack of time or if there were things in the way previously, right? You always want to ensure that you aren't stuck with issues that were previously hidden from your view, especially during your walkthroughs, etc. And here are a few things to check in person, okay? Now, did that enormous Persian rug that was spread on the living room floor blocking something or the flaws underneath? Now, was that couch pushed flush against the wall, and were there holes or dings or dents behind the couch that should have been exposed to you prior? Now, take a careful look at any hardwood floors and check for any water damages or rot. Okay, this goes double if you're buying a home with a basement. Now, once filled with boxes and clutter, now be aware that basements are breeding grounds for potential mold, water damage, and other structural issues, okay? And it's easy for buyers to miss all these, especially when there are furniture items or other clutter covering these areas. This takes us to item number 4, and this is super important. Now, look for missing items, or what I call secret swaps. Now, what do I mean by that? Make sure that all the appliances and fixtures that you liked during your earlier visits of the home are still present, okay? Or haven't undergone what is called a subpar substitution. If that chandelier, which adorned the living room, wasn't called out as going with the sellers, and now there's just an empty socket during your final walkthrough, this is an item for negotiation or compensation, basically, all right? And anything connected to the home, such as plugs, pipes, or a gazebo even, are called fixtures in the real estate speak. If the sellers intended to keep something or take those fixtures along with them, it should be called or specified in the contract. Another example would be swapping out those bronze cabinet pulls for mediocre chrome replacements isn't okay either. And you have every right to demand that they be reinstated before you take ownership of the home. Okay, something to be aware of. And finally, this is something that I've seen buyers do, and it's something that you have to watch for. Now, don't panic over little dirty items, right? You might expect a picture-perfect home with polished hardwood floors and shining countertops, and if the place is a little dirty, it's not the end of the world, right? Don't stress over the minor problems such as scratches on the hardwood floors or marks on the walls. It's certainly not worth raising a fuss over. Not only will you annoy the sellers, but chances are you will cause more damage than those minor scratches during your move-in. Just saying. Hey, here's another ask from me to you. If you found the information in this video helpful, consider subscribing to this channel. You hitting that subscribe button and smashing that bell icon will help the algorithm and help others to derive value, and I totally appreciate you. And for sticking till the end of this video, as part of my appreciation, here's what I promised you at the beginning of this video. Now, I've linked a home walkthrough checklist in the description below for you to print and take along with you as you do your final walkthrough. This should be super helpful. All that said, here is the bottom line. Your final walkthrough of the home you're buying is an essential step for you to complete, which not only ensures that your home passes the final validation of things that are supposed to be functional, but also make sure that whatever was agreed to as part of the sales contract is fixed. And now here's to your home ownership, okay? Make it a great one.